Hello everyone. So welcome to my YouTube channel. How are you all? I hope you're all doing fine. Today I am again outside and this time I am with a guest. He's not a guest, by the way, he's the king. Hopefully if he'll come here then you'll be able to see. So I'll just it's a sit down video, right? And as you've seen the title, today again I am here to talk about Rahu and Ketu, a favorite subject of almost everyone, right? Um, I have two super important announcements to make. The first important announcement is that I am not officially on Instagram or something. I don't consider Instagram to be like the first source where I want to connect with all of you anymore. Initially it was like that I used to consider it quite heavily, but lately it so happened that I don't know, the sort of just it's not happening. Second thing, second major important announcement is that please use lookbeyondastro@gmail.com if you want to get in touch with me, and I'll share my mobile number with you, the one that I officially use, WhatsApp business number, and only like WhatsApp calls are allowed on that number. So no calling on the what is it called, like we do calling, right, through cellular network. So that is not allowed on that particular number. It just doesn't happen even if you do. So that's another thing. And you know what, like, the content that I want to talk about today is based on Rahu and Ketu, but I've actually written it down. So I was writing it down yesterday, and somehow things come more organized to me when I'm writing. Okay, so I'm just going to start. I may not be looking like towards the camera or something, but I've got it all down and I'm going to read it out loud for you. So what is the difference between disappointment caused by Rahu and Ketu, right? So first we'll understand Rahuish mindset. This often causes many reasons for disappointment, not one, because Rahu is the god of agenda or motive. This energy demands a lot because remember, it is the head with the mouth wide open, wanting to engulf everything, even if it is spirituality. This is the reason why people with a prominent Rahu sitting in Rahu placed in a moksha or dharma triangle make good occultists. Snowing. And as soon as I was about to say Ketu-ish mindset, Ketu Maharaj's Vahan is here. So Ketu-ish mindset. The person is no more interested in the subjects usually desired. So this causes disappointment and hopelessness. It stirs emotions of depression at times, not always, but majorly despair. Because even if the person has something to look forward to, they are unable to. Attachment or obsession to desires now don't favor the cause. Rahu attaches a person by making one low or high key obsessive about usual objects of desires. I wrote this in the community section till here. I posted it yesterday, last night. So usual objects of desire are like cars, clothes, good looking women and men, right? These are usually what we all go gaga over, and that's the reality. Versus Ketu detaches a person by making one low or high key disassociated by usual objects of desires. So like again, like that there's, yeah, it's important to have a car, it's important to have good clothes, it's important to like find maybe probably a hot man for yourself and a good looking chick for yourself or something, but Ketu is that energy that makes us transcend, and it's a lot about inner work, awakening, awareness, and all of it, right? So that's those are the differences between these two energies. Now that I have talked about this, I'll go ahead and I'll complete. Just 1 second. Snowy. Shh. Shh. Snowy. Hey. Aja. Because he'll run away, I know that for sure. He'll like he'll be elsewhere. So essentially both are experiencing, Rahu and Ketu, like in continuation, both are experiencing disappointment. However, root causes are quite different, right? Why is it important to know this subtle difference? It can help you identify whether there is really something to worry or not, right? Sorry. Every planet in its own way is having chal rahe hain. Every planet in its own way is having a safe is having a say on our emotional health. I'm sorry, it's not safe. Every planet is having a say on our emotional health. In general, our Rahuish mindset is appreciated more because on, like, if you see the surface level society and everything, it seems as if the person is going through this it seems as if the person going through this mindset has a sense of direction, right? So this is about Rahuish mindset people. Because the usual having of a goal, a vision board, etc., you know, like plans one after the another. So this is all like usually considered quite healthy and normal in our society, right? As opposed to what? Because this that I'm talking about is not just in general, I'm saying. This is in comparison to what I'm about to say, right? On the contrary, a person with a Ketuish mindset can often be disapproved or condemned in society because the person displays traits that of a monk or a hippie. And we all know what happens when a monk or a hippie is in front of us. We feel quite either there's a sense of enigma or just weird unusualness about them. So we know that both such personalities on the surface level look directionless, but the internal reality could be different actually. The person may possess a need to be productive and achieve as well. So a Ketuish person a Ketuish mindset actually has a lot of desires to be productive, to achieve things. However, it's in a way that doesn't cause unnecessary disappointments, because now the realization has kind of sort of seeped in through various sudden events or something. Since everything is temporary in life, so that's what has like kind of sort of gotten into the person. A sense of philosophy gets into the scene. Okay, that's how a Ketuish mindset is operating. My snow is looking so cute, right? This reminds me of that going forward, I'll be talking about this particular part. Will talk about how Ketu, because I've often said this, and at least like in the last story, I said this thing that Ketu, okay, somebody else is taking the space, so that's all right. I'll just keep it this way. Maybe it's this. So this, what it means right now, I feel that this is Lord Ketu, Shri Ketu speaking, and this is not me. So this is a sign that it's not me speaking, and I should not really boast about my writing. So Ketu's teacher is Jupiter. So this is the part I'm going to talk about. Ketu's teacher is Jupiter and Rahu's teacher is Mercury. But a point to note is that Rahu will often interfere with the whole process of the rational mind. Okay, whereas Ketu may reduce the wisdom. So I'll repeat that again, I'm sorry. A point to note is that Rahu will often interfere with the whole process of the logical, the rational mind, whereas Ketu may reduce the wisdom by making the person distressed, or in dismay, right? This is the reason why these students, both Rahu and Ketu, need guidance from their respective teachers, Guru and Buddha. In conclusion, solution is, so what is the solution? So I have tried to talk about in this last 2-3 line paragraphs is that we can surrender to the energies of Jupiter and Mercury, right? You may have heard that Jupiter is a planet of wisdom, luck, fortune, right? You've heard about all of it. And actually I was writing this, I was not writing it, like I was typing it out while I was walking, and as I was walking and typing it out, I met an elderly person. As soon as I started talking about the Jupiter, I met an elderly person, right? um, how the universe is working, because I know that many people think that Saturn is a representation of what do we say, old people and stuff, right? But what we need to know is that Saturn is a representation of old age and old people, and things that get dragged, even like um, uh, I would say long Ayu is it's called, right? So what is it called? Lifespan, yeah, lifespan in Hindi, in English. So, but Jupiter is that particular planet which represents a lot of experience. It represents responsibility. Jupiter is also about what is right, and essentially these are the kind of qualities that we get to know. We get to know time and again through experiences, and just bit me with time. So we get to know all these things with time. Uh, so that's why I met, as soon as I started talking about Jupiter, I met a wise, an experienced lady. She is a representation of Jupiter. So Jupiter is often oh God. So Jupiter is often identified by the ninth house, gurus, teachers, institutes, higher learning, right? And the 12th house being old soul, Pisces sign, which is like the higher octane of Jupiter, the final stage of in the karmic cycle of the soul. So coming back to the topic of engaging the energies of Jupiter, which is symbolic for luck, wisdom, fortune, growth, higher learning, enlightenment. Now when we engage into the energies of Jupiter in us, so now when I talk about energies and engaging into it and all of it, essentially these are energies that are present within us, right? So first of all, when we talk you need to be a believer of energies when we talk about astrology. So let's say if you don't believe in the energies of the universe, if you don't believe in your own energy, whether I am positive or negative, it doesn't matter, you are atheist when it comes to energies, then I don't know, because then you'll not be able to understand this subject, and you'll not be able to benefit from the remedies, right? So if you want to solve the problems of Ketu, Jupiter will enable one to self-fulfillment and realization of the immortal soul, which is very important, essentially like moksha or enlightenment. But I tried to simplify it and write it like in this way, that self-fulfillment and realization of the immortal soul is what Jupiter is going to provide us with. This is the reason why many people in Ketu mahadasha attain self-realization, just because the growth is internal, like roots spreading themselves deep and deeper, right? Doesn't mean that the tree is not growing tall and strong. So now what's happening with Ketu is that a lot of the growth is happening internally. It's happening, it's all within. It's a lot of inner work. So externally it may not look what's happening, but internally your foundations are becoming like really strong. So all the inner work eventually outshines in the world, as if you're illuminating. All the people with Ketu mindset is not running anywhere to get this glow noticed. It's not important. But what are the fruits is something that we all think about, because we all want some fruit of our hard work, right? That is like only human to us. And to not think about that would then again Saturn comes into play, because Saturn is going to give us a fair share of our justice, is going to give us the good for our good and bad for our bad. And there's a whole series of law of karma which I have to cover. Like there are different types of karmas, and there are different laws of karmas, like the law of responsibility, the law of cause and effect, the law of attraction, blah, 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 so many. So but coming back to the point that we are essentially getting something, so we will illuminate. The Ketu people, I'm sorry, will illuminate, will outshine. But the foundation here, right, roots, is getting strong. So the Ketu mahadasha, or the energy of Ketu, is essentially like making you extremely grounded and strong from within. This is what is happening. On the other hand, we have Rahu's teacher, Mercury, who is an inquisitive child, communicative, problem solver, quick to learn, adaptable, mutable as well, right? And mutable is a very important trait amongst all of them, basically. Skilled, devoted to the present moment. So it's only a child who is not worrying about the tomorrow, even if like there is some crap happening, and you can say that that may be happening because the child has not developed a full consciousness or something or whatever. But deep within, remember that okay, you know, like there is this grass also has some level of consciousness, right? This belt also has some level of consciousness. However, the level of consciousness that the grass has in comparison to the belt is very different. The level of consciousness that Snowy has in comparison to me is very different. So you cannot deny the fact that a kid has consciousness. So here, when we are talking about Rahu taking sorting help from the planet Mercury, which is its teacher, we need to understand what is Mercury. And I have just told you that all these things are Mercury, and Mercury is essentially very much surrendered to the present moment. It's curious, it's inquisitive, right? So henceforth, Rahu's stupid obsessions, because this is what Rahu is bad for. If you have seen like the series Netflix, so there is a series called You, and I used to like that series a lot. YOU. I used to like it when I used to watch crime. I don't watch like garbage anymore. I consider it garbage now, but yeah, I was like into it. So you have seen that guy, right? I don't remember the name of the actors. He's playing the role of this obsessive guy. That's Rahu. So Rahu's stupid obsessions henceforth turn into lessons that even hold the capacity to make one highly skilled. Right? That's happening for sure. This is the reason why many people attain massive wealth and fame in Rahu's mahadasha, or when their Rahu is quite prominent. Like there's Carrie Minati, right? His name is Abhay Deol. He's the one who uses a lot of slangs. So not a very nice example, but he has his Rahu. So he's a YouTuber. He's a creative person. Just because he uses slangs, I think I do not have the right to judge him. So, but yeah. There's some controversy, and the controversy is happening because of some other reason in his chart, but Rahu and Venus in the 11th house. So expansion of, you know, like money, expansion of knowledge, expansion of fame through the Rahu, technology, and a lot of other stuff. I'll not go deep into it. So now this child, Mercury. So Mercury is like the guru of Rahu. So here, when I'm talking about child, I mean to say that Rahu, who is under the guidance of Lord Buddha, Mercury, wants to get recognized by people. He's a child, right? For he or she, for his or her efforts. A child loves to be appreciated by one and all, as it adds courage and ego to a developing child. Right. This child is learning, failing many times, and getting up again. So appreciation does the work of both compliments and motivation over here. So this is how, like, in 20 minutes, I could, almost 19 minutes, I tried to explain that why not to take energies, why not to take the word malefic, and why there are so many people who have made these logical videos explaining the emotional, mental, and physical aspects of Ketu and Rahu. But here, like, I wanted to explain, literally dissecting doing some sort of surgery on it and opening it up to you, because the word malefic and benefic is really getting crazy on YouTube. Stop it. So I think that's it. Expect a shot from me, some YouTube shots on Venus and Mars, because I'm digging deep into that currently, and I'm looking into Venus and Mars in like different charts. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe to my channel if you liked today's video wherein I talked about Rahu and Ketu. Then definitely give it a like, and I'll try to come up with more stuff. If you have any suggestions for me, you can give me